Good evening. Business strongman John Elliot has lost his fight to enter federal politics. Mr Elliot, tipped as a future Prime Minister, didn't have the numbers at a special meeting convened in Melbourne tonight. Brian Shrowder reports.
The sitting Liberal member for Higgins, Roger Shipton, arrived at tonight's meeting with little to say.
Thank you very much.
Are you confident you'll still hold it?
The electorate committee, including members of powerful Toorak branches, immediately suspended standing orders to debate two motions on the pre-selection issue. Shipton is under attack from supporters of John Elliot, who want to see him moved into the safe blue ribbon seat. Elliot's indicated he's available for the job, but the move to oust Roger Shipton was lost, 67 votes to 34.
The Easter holiday break could be thrown into chaos following the Labor Council's decision this afternoon to implement tough industrial action. In protest of the Unsworth Government's moves to cut workers' compensations, unions will stop fuel supplies to Ansett and East West Airlines and all government bodies except power stations from midnight tomorrow night. The mooted blockade of the Sydney Harbour Bridge won't go ahead, but Labor Council Secretary John Macbean has vowed to take whatever action is necessary to get the government to back down.
In the event that negotiations fail with the New South Wales Labor Government, and then it'll be a stoppage of basically all services in New South Wales for a period of time.
State Cabinet at its meeting tomorrow clearly has a tiger by the tail. Not only do the unions vehemently oppose this legislation, so does the Law Society, so do hospital surgeons. The surgeons say they've been denied details of the legislation despite repeated requests during the past 6 months. They oppose it on three main grounds. That doctors would have to re-register with the managed fund even though they're already registered under strict terms, that medical fees would be tagged to the Commonwealth schedule of rebates leading to a reduction in fees, and that surgeons could be sued under common law for negligence if a claimant sent back to work on the new form of medical certificate aggravated an injury. Dr. John Harrison says 70% of orthopaedic surgeons stayed in or are back at public hospitals. If the government persisted with the reforms, some would certainly leave.
Well, we're certainly not proposing to blockade surgery doors or theatre access. But I think the end result of it will be from many primary care providers in the system that many of them will simply not be involved in the delivery of care to patients claiming benefits under the Workers' Compensation Act. We would hope that our right and our obligation to provide care in a private capacity will be retained, but we're not certain about that.
There are no big pardons tonight from the people behind the federal government's $3 million AIDS advertising campaign. It's supposed to scare and shock. That's the objective of the whole exercise. Self-proclaimed megastar Dame Edna Everage led a parade of celebrities up the red carpet to the world premiere of Australia's newest movie tonight, Patterson Saves the World, described as a watershed in the Australian film industry, played to a house packed with local and visiting glitterati.
It was truly a gala affair. Dame Edna was first to arrive and deliver her familiar greeting. Dressed in a sparkling green number, she was already basking in the film's glory.
Another big success for me. Well, I suppose I'll take it in my stride. Isn't the frock gorgeous, by the way?
There were other stars, but none bigger than the man in the title role, the man himself, Dr. Sir Leslie Patterson.
This is a breakthrough for the Australian film industry. It's Storm Boy meets the Elephant Man. I know the public are going to receive this film with open arms. This is going to revitalise not just Australia, but it's going to bring a new interest in Australia all over the world. People are going to want to be Australians, Eskimos, pygmies.
Critics, politicians, and finally the creator, who borrowed his lines from someone else.
Storm Boy meets the Elephant Man.
And so it leaves only one question. Now that Sir Les has saved the world, what will he do next? Tim Warner, Eyewitness News.
I'm sure he'll drag something up. Well, the numbers which will bring a smile to somebody's face tonight are the soccer pools. They're not the soccer pools, they're the lotto numbers. They are 7, 20, 23, 26, 30 and 35, and the supplementary number is 15. Tomorrow's weather, and there's a chance of a shower or two during a warm to very warm day. Northwest to northeast winds are forecast, and fishermen should have slight to moderate seas on a low swell. Sydney's temperature will range from 19 to 27, while the west will have a top of 29 after a low of 17. That's all from us tonight. Join us again for Eyewitness News, the complete news at 6 tomorrow. I'm Sean Flannery. You have a good night.
And in the future, it's more important than ever to have the complete news with the team Sydney turns to. Liebman, Mossop and Johnston. 10's Eyewitness News, so you don't miss a thing.
We know it's in heroes, it sets them apart. Some call it guts, some call it heart. Some call it passion, and some call it pride. It's the will to succeed and to never say die. Like singing Matilda, you can keep all the rest. They don't come from the heart, and they don't pass the test. Now some can explain it, but I never could. It's enough to be Aussie and feeling this good. How do you feel? Like a Tooheys. How do you feel? Like a Tooheys. How do you feel? Like a Tooheys or two.
Cookware has finally come of age. Introducing Foodkeepers from Anchor Hocking. Multi-purpose cookware that lets you freeze, store, bake or reheat, microwave, serve and wash, all with incredible ease. Foodkeepers, new generation cookware from Anchor Hocking. Anchor, we're with you every day.
The tyres on this car come from one of the world's leading